Hi everyone, I want to thank you for tuning in to my YouTube channel on this afternoon on this Labor Day weekend. I hope everybody has had a very nice weekend. Maybe you got you some rest, maybe you did a little fishing or just whatever made your little soul happy with your family, children, whatever it was. I'm sure it was great for you. And secondly, if you have not already become a subscriber, I would love for you to be a part of this family here. Go ahead and hit that subscription button below, and that will be very helpful for me as the channel is growing. Okay, so today I am going to bring you part two to the state board haircutting video. So for those of you who have not already seen part one, go and watch part one first so that you will know how to section properly. I'm not going to go back through that. I've already done a video on that one. So just go back and catch up. If you want to work in reverse, go back and watch that so you'll know how to section. I'm going to just show you guys, teach you all a very simplified way to do this haircut. Okay? Okay, so now the first thing I want to do, as you can see, I've already sectioned her. You can use your butterfly clamps, or if you want to use actual duckbill clips, whatever works for you, works for me. Okay, so let's just go for it. So some of the things you're gonna need, obviously you're gonna need a water bottle. You wanna make sure you have your shears, of course. I am working with just a standard all-purpose comb, but it's larger. But you wanna use your Stateboard all-purpose comb, which has the margins on it, so that you can measure. Okay, so I'm working with a larger one today for time purposes. Okay, so now the first thing you want to do, we've already sectioned her off. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start by misting her. Okay, get her mist here. All right, now the first thing you want to do, this particular module on the state board practical exam is 42 minutes. Now I am in Texas, so if you are viewing from another state, then obviously you want to check the PSI guidelines to make sure that your timing is the same. I think they're the same across the board from state to state, but don't quote me on that. But I'm pretty sure I'm right about that. Okay, so now the first thing you want to do is you want to create a guide. Okay, so I'm gonna create 4 points here. So I'm gonna say one. Actually, I'm gonna 4. 2 on the sides, 1 here. As far as measurements, so I'm gonna say 1. So you want to make sure you remove an inch all the way around the perimeter. Now I'm gonna show you. Just stick with me. We're gonna do 1.1 here. You're going to go to the side. You're going to cut an inch on the side here, 0.2. We're going to call this side over here, 0.3. 1 inch on this side. And in the very back, your nape area back here, can you guys see that? I'm going to also remove 1 inch on the back. And the reason why we're doing that, because all of these points are going to serve as connectors, okay? So let's get started. First thing I'm going to do, now you want to make sure you hold the hair parallel to the floor. In this case, horizontally, okay? Can you see that? Horizontally. So I'm going to hold this at 0 degrees. Now, do you know what 0 degrees is? Meaning it's just straight down, okay? So this is about 1 inch here. I'm going to go ahead and create this first point and remove that. Okay? And what I do, I like to go back in and just check to make sure that my point is right. Now, make sure that your blade is sharp. If you are working with a dull blade, it can slow you down. So I would encourage you to make sure before you go to state board, you get that taken care of. Now this is about 1 inch here. And for those of you who are not clear on it, this all-purpose comb has the different 1-inch margins. Okay, so you might want to use that to measure. Because I know arbitrarily what 1 inch looks like for students. I want you all to actually measure, okay, so that you will know exactly how much you're removing. Okay, so I'm going to remove 1 inch here. Okay, so this 1 inch is done. This 1 inch is done here. I've removed that, and I'm going to go to this side. Okay. Now remember, I want to say this. When you get to the side, I do not want you to remove this horizontally. I want you to remove this at a diagonal. Okay, and I'm going to show you why in a minute. Do not cut straight across, because if you cut straight across, only when you get to the sides, you will leave a gap. I don't want you to leave a gap, so you want to hold this at a slant or a diagonal, and you're going to remove 1 inch diagonal. I don't know if you can see that, so like this. That's diagonal, okay? So, same thing here. And when you get to the back, we're going to remove horizontally, parallel to the floor, okay? So here is my 1 inch. Here's my little section here. That's 1 inch there. That's an inch. Remove it. Done. All right. So now all of my points of origin have already been established, okay? So now what you're going to do, we're going to start off with using this as my guide. I'm going to go ahead and cut. Guys, let me change my blade. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back.